Lauren. So here's a hamstring workout for you. This was requested by Meredith, so looking out for you. So in circus, everybody wants to have flexible hamstrings. Maybe you're not doing circus. That's okay. You might still want flexible hamstrings. The key to having flexible hamstrings is having strong hamstrings. So this is a workout designed to strengthen your hamstrings in a lot of different directions. If you are injured, you should definitely talk to your doctor before doing this, though it might help and you could bring it up as an option. I am not a doctor, so I cannot diagnose or prescribe anything. So be safe and talk to a healthcare professional if you're injured. However, if you just have like persistent tightness up in your sits bone, this might really help a lot. So give it a shot and let me know what you think. For this workout, you will need a little bit of equipment. I've got a yoga block, and you may want some hand weights. That part is optional depending on where you are at. If you do have weights, these are 5 pounds. Again, it's kind of up to you where you're at. And we'll talk about that more when we get to that part. You can also use soup cans, or you could just do without, and that's totally fine. We will be laying down, so yoga mat if you're on hardwoods, or a blanket, anything to cushion you a little bit. If you're working on carpet, you'll probably be fine. So we're going to start laying down on our backs. So here I'm going to find my neutral position, thinking about my tailbone being heavy. My low back does not need to press down into the mat. My ribs are settled down. I'm finding tension from rib cage to hip bone. My hands can go by my sides. I'm going to lift my legs up to tabletop and exhale and tap one toe. Working on keeping this tension the whole time. Deepening my contraction through my belly as my toe reaches for the mat. We'll do one more on each side, and then let the feet rest. We're going to open one knee out to the side and lift it up. Exhaling as the leg opens. Still trying to keep that steady tension and keep my pelvis still, so no shifting from side to side here. Then I'm going to pick one leg up and straighten it towards the ceiling. And here, find whatever level you need to be at to have your knee straight. So if that means your leg is here, that's fine. We're going to exhale and lower the leg. Inhale and lift the leg. You can add in a little foot articulation. Flex as you lower, point as you lift. And again here, pelvis should stay steady the whole time. And I'm lifting my leg only as far as I can to keep my knee straight and my pelvis still. Now, if you have a little bit of discomfort in your hamstring, go to the point of discomfort and stop right before you get there. And I want you to think about energetically reaching out through your leg. So as I lower my leg, it's not going to the ground, it's going to the wall. As I lift my leg, it's going to the ceiling. And we'll switch sides. So there's a fair amount of core work going on here. Just holding everything still. One more. And bring that leg down. We're going to roll onto our sides. And we're going to do clamshells 2 ways. So you can make a little pillow with your arm here. My knees are stacked, my hip bones are right over each other, and I've got a little bit of an angle here at my hip. I'm going to roll slightly forward so my hip bone is pointing at the ground and my top knee is slightly overhanging my bottom knee. And then I'm thinking about reaching out through my knee as I lift it up. Staying tight through my belly, ribs are connected. We'll do about 10. Really trying to feel the movement from here, so on the back of my hip rather than around my hip bone. We'll call that 8, 9, 10. So now I'm going to slide my legs back so that my knees are in line with my hips, and my shins are going to be at about a 90-degree angle. Now, if you're tight through your quads and your hip flexors like I am, this is a challenging position to be in. You're really going to want to arch your back to make you feel like you've got there. Pull those ribs in, engage your glutes, and know that you might not quite be in a straight line. I'm not, and that's okay. We're just trying to find as much reach through the thigh as we can. We're going to do the same thing. 10 openings of that top knee. As my knee opens, I really have to work pulling up on my pubic bone to keep my back from arching. We'll do 4 more. And then we'll switch sides. So again here, setting up with that slight rolling forward from my top hip. My bottom waist is lifting from the mat. Ribs are connected. And I'm reaching out to lift up through the knee. Finding the work in the back. Noticing if my back wants to arch. And really trying to stay tight through here. 3 more. And then bringing the knees in line, pulling up through the pubic bones, squeezing the glute ribs connected, and lifting. Keep drawing up your pubic bone. Two more. And come all the way out of that. We're going to grab the yoga block. Now here, we're going to be in a quadruped. If that's uncomfortable on your wrists, your options are fists on the mat. If you have hand weights, you can hold your hand weights like this. Try to keep your wrists neutral rather than being super flexed. Or, if you have something you can prop your elbows on, you can do it like this. So, enough options that everybody should be okay. We're going to take that yoga block and we're going to squeeze it the long way from the heel to the butt. Now I'm going to think about trying to curl my low back just a little bit. Doesn't need to be a big rounding of the whole back, but if I was a dog, I'm a little bit sad. I'm a bad dog. My shoulders are down. I'm rotating the points of my elbows to point back, and I'm going to start by lifting my leg 10 times. Now as I lift, I'm maintaining that curl. So nothing is happening in my back. And maybe my leg doesn't go super high, but I am feeling it. And we'll do one more. And then we're going to go into a rotation. So this, it's really going to be hard to not wobble the pelvis, but you're going to work for it. So shoulders are down, keep that curl, knee pulls up, around, and back. Here's 2, One more in this direction. And I'm losing my block a little bit, so I'm just gonna reset it. And then we're gonna switch directions. Up, around, and in. And switch sides. I know it's super delightful. If you're cramping, just take the block out, shake the leg out, maybe reduce your range of motion just a little bit. Cramping means you're doing it right. You're getting the muscles to work. Maybe just you need a little bit less intensity. We'll do the other side. So, finding that little bit of curl, I'm going to stay drawing up through my belly the whole time I'm doing this, and we go up for 10. Pay attention to your upper body too. It's easy to start sinking. One more, and then rotation. So I'm pushing my hands into the mat the whole time. That was 3, and reverse. Last one. All right. So now I'm going to lay back down on my back. One leg is going to go straight up. The other leg can stay bent or extend, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're tighter, a bent knee is going to feel a lot better. If you're pretty flexible, you can go all the way straight. Again, we want to think about pelvis staying pretty steady here. And we're going to use our hands. They can go on the back of the leg. If you can't reach your leg with your hands, you can use a strap or a towel or anything just to loop around. That's totally fine. And here, again, I'm going to find a place without discomfort. So if you do have a little bit of an unhappy hamstring, if you get all the way up here and you can feel it, just back it down just a little bit. And here, I'm going to put my hands on my thigh. I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm going to start pushing my leg into my hands. I'm going to hold it for a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take my hands to the back of my leg. I'm going to do the same thing now, trying to push away, like I'm trying to push down to the ground. Deep breath. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to try to pull my leg closer to my body. So maybe it's really small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go to my farthest point, and I'm going to draw little circles on the ceiling, 5 in each direction. One more this way, and switch. I'm really trying to keep that pull in the whole time. And we'll switch legs. So leg is up, active knees here, so I'm thinking about trying to pull my kneecap up. Your foot can be pointed or flexed. It doesn't make that big of a deal, or big of a difference, but don't let your foot be like floppy and sloppy. Do something on purpose. So first, pressing in, deep breath, push, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and push away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then pulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And find that pulling in as far as you can, and circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and switch. 2, 3, 4, 5. That leg comes down. We're going to stand all the way up. And this is where you might want those weights. So we're going to do deadlifts. If you've never done a deadlift before, quick tutorial without weights. I want my back from my head to my tailbone to stay flat. My feet are about shoulder distance apart in parallel. I'm going to imagine that somebody wrapped something right across the crease of my hips and is pulling me back. My knees can soften, staying right over my ankles, so my shins are staying straight up. And my back is staying still in its shape. So I'm not changing the shape of my spine while I do this. I'm just changing my orientation of my spine to my legs. So again, right at the crease of the hips, somebody's pulling you back. You can imagine you're trying to touch your butt to the wall behind you, and then push your feet into the ground to stand back up. So how do hamstrings work when we're doing this movement? When I'm here, they're long, they're stretched under tension. As I stand up, that's the primary muscle that's working to pull me back upright. So if we're adding in weights, you're just going to hold them by your sides. If you're not using weights, that's fine. Just keep doing that motion and focus on how your hamstrings are loading. Focus on feeling them stretch as your butt goes back and contract as you stand back up. If you're using weights, you're just going to let your arms hang and you're going to hinge back. Drive down for 1. We're doing 10. My head is staying in line with my spine. So if I pick one thing to look at, my head's going to come up each time. Try to keep it just neck is long and easy. Let's do 4 more. Think about driving the heels down. Last one. So now we're going to do a different style of deadlift. This time we are going to keep the knees super straight. So again, if you don't have weights, that's fine. Just keep doing the same motion, the same action. Everything stays the same as far as how our upper body is moving, but now we're trying to keep the knees locked. And we go for 1. You might feel this in a slightly different spot in your hamstrings. You might feel this one more up at the attachment at your sitting bone. Whereas with the deadlift, the traditional deadlift, you might feel it more in the belly of the muscle. That's why we do slightly different versions of the same thing, because they're doing slightly different things. Let's do 4 more. And then for our last thing, we're going to come to a wall. And you're going to stand with your feet close enough to the wall that this is challenging, but not so far forward that it's easy. So I'll show you one time, and then I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So here, I have my feet in a more narrow parallel. My back, my head, my butt are all up against the wall. My arms are relaxed. I'm going to roll down. As I roll down, I'm trying to keep my spine connected to the wall until it's rolling forward. So I'm thinking about drawing back through my belly. This part is really hard for me. I've got to lift up. I'm keeping my glutes engaged as long as I can. And then I'm going to let my whole body hinge forward. And then I have to roll back up. So I'm going to curl my pelvis Draw up through my belly. Keep my upper body heavy and relaxed. And then try to pull low back first, mid back, upper back, head back to the wall. So, if you do this and it's super duper easy, your feet are too far away from the wall. If you do this and you are falling forward away from the wall, you're too close to the wall. So you want to find that Goldilocks, just right spot where it's challenging and you feel how your hamstrings are doing all of this work to pull you back up. They're going to be a big stretch when you're all the way forward, but the focus of this exercise is coming back up where they're working to pull you back up. So think about that. We're going to do 3 together. So starting with the head, upper body is relaxed. Pull your chin in. Head drops forward. Pull back through your belly, trying to get your low back to the wall. Curl up and over like you're rounding over a ball. Glutes stay engaged, stay engaged, stay engaged. And then allow them to stretch as you hinge forward. Keep lifting your belly button up the whole time. And then we curl, pulling from the belly, tucking the tail. Try to pull your low back to the wall. Stack up. As the head arrives, deep breath in. And we'll do it again. Pulling back as we roll forward. You can shake out your arms if you think they might be doing funny stuff. Pause here right before you disengage your glutes. Belly up and over. Stretch your butt, stretch your legs as you come forward. Deep breath. And curl. Think about tucking that tail between your legs. Pull your low back to the wall. One more time. All right. So that's the hamstring workout. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're feeling pain or discomfort in any of this, you should probably stop, or you can send me a message. We can chat about what might be going on. If you've got an injury, of course, talk to your doctor. I'm here if you've got any questions.